The Maliwan Takedown's coming out today, and I'm super excited. I'm going to be showing you guys the build I'm using to take this down solo. This is going to be a 4-player difficulty event, and I'm going to be going at it solo. I'm also going to try to be the world's first solo completion on this, so you guys will probably know soon after this video gets posted. Now, I just want to say real quick, I usually don't like to showcase builds like these because I'm using a lot of overpowered gear, all anointed weapons, overpowered class mod artifacts, and I know a lot of players don't have access to this stuff, but hopefully what you guys can take from this video is my thought process of going into a brand new event completely blind and knowing it's supposed to be the hardest endgame content yet. I also want you guys to see how I'm stacking my anointments and stacking weapon damage and the way different weapons work and what I'm pairing it all with. And just my thought process of, like I said, doing what's supposed to be the hardest endgame content without any information on it. So with all that being said, let's get into it. Don't forget to like this video, it really helps out my analytics. Subscribe to the channel if you already aren't for more Borderlands 3 Zane builds, and join the Zane Nation Discord. Link will be in a pinned comment down below. So first I'm going to talk about the gear. I'm actually using 7 weapons going into this. We're not sure what to expect until we play through it. I want to have backup elemental guns in case we get to a boss fight and they resist certain elements. You want a good shock weapon for enemies with huge shields. You want a good radiation weapons in case those same enemies resist shock damage. You want corrosive weapons for enemies with huge armor. And you want cryo weapons for those same armored enemies in case they resist corrosive. There's also different weapon types that are good at fighting mobs and ones that are good against bosses. So while I was just saying all that, you all saw a couple clips of me wrecking Captain Trant with an insane looking shotgun. That shotgun I'm using is the Proturbance. I found out how powerful this gun actually was during my Alien Barrel gun review, giving them to the Digiclone. This thing is an absolute monster that does so much damage. This is going to be my main mobbing gun because all the explosive and splash damage. I'm using a shock Proturbance and wearing a transformer. So basically I'm not going to be able to get overwhelmed by the amount of mobs there's going to be. I'm just going to kill everything in my path. And if I can do that to a mini boss like Trant, how many shots do you think it takes to kill anything with way lesser health? So I'm also just going to be showing you guys a clip of me fighting Trant without my class mod and artifact on because both of these are overpowered and add some insane damage to basically how I got that first clip. But you guys are still going to just be able to see the actual raw power of this gun. My Proturbance has the Fear Anointment for double projectiles. This is essentially double damage, but there's actually a reason why this specific anointment is extremely good with the Transformer. It's because I can basically shoot a couple of these at the ground, activate an action skill, which means I'm not shooting, but I won't be able to die in that time because the extra projectiles from the Proturbance will splash all around me, healing me again. I can reload guns in that time, I can swap weapons in that time. I think the extra projectiles, overusing something like extra weapon damage or double weapon damage is better for this gun in general. And that's why I'm using it. The next 2 guns I'm going to be using are the Alchemist and the Pfizer. Both of these ARs will benefit from my ammo regen setup. I'll show you guys in a second. Now the Alchemist I'm using has Terror Cryo, so it's a triple element Alchemist. And my Radfire has even more bonus radiation damage for the next 2 clips on action skill end. This will basically be an infinite bonus because of my ammo regen. Both of these ARs will benefit greatly from the ammo regen, and the anointments make them so much stronger. I posted a short clip the other day of getting a nice kill on General Trant using these 2 guns that I'm showing you guys in the background again now. The reason why ammo regen is so powerful with the Alchemist is because the Torg stickies get bonus damage for each bullet you stick. So if you have reload on Digiclone swap, Terror ammo regen, Digiclone 12% ammo regen, all of these things benefit with Torg stickies. And the same goes for the Pfizer anointment. Using an anointment that gives bonus damage For mag duration, instead of using the bonuses for a few seconds, it makes this bonus stretch out for so much longer than it's supposed to. Finally, I've got a corrosive crossroads for mobbing. This one just has terror, damage, and fire rate. This will basically give me the most damage and quickest kills on armored mobs. I just wanted something hard-hitting and fast-firing. This is way better for smaller targets because I'm using hit scan bullets instead of projectiles. So that's the 4 guns I'll be using when I first get into the takedown for the general mobbing areas. I'll mostly be using the Perturbance because it basically makes me invincible, but I'll be able to swap into any other gun depending on what enemies show up. Now in my backpack, I've got a Corrosive Cutsman and a Sellout. I'm rocking an Elemental Projector, so this plus the Sellout will mean insane amounts of corrosive damage I can put out. This is going to be my main strategy against WOTAN if nothing goes wrong. The Cutsman in general is better against huge enemies. It can still be good while mobbing, but the bigger enemies don't move around a lot, and they're much easier to hit with the slow-moving projectiles from the Cutsman. So that's why I'm using the Crossroads at first, but I'll definitely be swapping into this for specifically the WOTAN fight. Finally, I've also got a Cryo Shredifier with the double barrel attachment and even more fire rate and damage with terror. I'm honestly expecting not to use this one so much, but like I said, I wouldn't put it out of the realm of possibilities that Gearbox wants to mess with our heads and put in some big armored enemies that are immune to corrosive. I just want to have this gun just in case. Now onto my shield, my class mod, my artifact, and my grenade. For the shield, I think I mentioned this a second ago, but I'm using the Transformer. I labeled this the best shield in the game for multiple reasons. It heals you for shock damage, it has huge capacity and is super tanky in general, and we get to pull some insane shenanigans using our shock weapons, like being able to smash through tons of mobs while being at full health plus full shield. Now, this one has terror on action skill end. This is going to be our main source of terror. For our grenade, I'm mainly going to be running ammo regeneration. Usually mobs take a lot more ammo than fighting bosses, so with our damage anointments on our guns, we get to give all of them ammo regen. Using our nade and shield combo, this basically adds to the DPS since we won't have to reload so much. I'm also going to be keeping a damage and fire rate grenade in my backpack, which I'm going to swap into for the boss fights. That's why you saw my Cutsman also has the 130% Digiclone swap anointment. That way I'm going to get 130% bonus damage from that, and I'm also going to get damage and fire rate from my terror anointment. Now my class mod and relic, they're both just absolutely overpowered if you look at the stats on these things. There's a couple things to talk about. Mainly, you guys are probably looking at the insane bonuses I have on mine, but in reality there's 2 tricks here. The artifact I'm running is the Elemental Projector. If we put a status effect on ourselves, we'll do almost double damage with that same element, and that's why the Perturbance is so good, because it can do lots of splash shock damage to us. Anytime we get electrified, just using this thing, we'll be dealing double damage. Like I said, I'm also using the Sellout to put a corrosive dot on myself for my Cutsman. So not only am I going to get the bonus 130% from Digiclone swap, I'm going to get the bonus damage and fire rate from terror. I'm also going to damage stack yet again with this Elemental Projector. I'm also using Playing Dirty for the first 5 shots. There's literally just so much going into putting just raw damage on all of these weapons. Now on to the skill trees. I'm just going to go over these quickly. We're using the Sea and Red Capstone to give us all of our kill skills at will. This is mostly going to help out during the boss fights, but in this build specifically, neither of the other 2 capstones seem like they're doing much extra for us. Now I'm using Violent Momentum, Salvation, and Cool Hand. These are all usually a really strong base to start at. This helps us with lots of damage and survivability. I chose to use Violent Speed instead of Violent Violence because I tested out the extra fire rate on my weapons and it didn't seem to do much of a difference. So I'm just going to be choosing the speed to be able to travel through areas faster and complete this takedown as fast as possible. Playing Dirty is extremely good with our Perturbance. Between this and the Fear Anointment for another projectile, it's going to do so much work, so much splash damage, so much healing after we're done shooting. It'll also give the first half a clip from our Cutsman a lot of bonus damage, and it's just a good skill in general. In the Barrier Tree, we want maximum action skill cooldown rate with Adrenaline, especially since we're using shock weapons with our Transformer. Then we just picked up the rest of the skills to get to Confident Competence and the All-Rounder. The All-Rounder I think is going to be great in this raid. Lots of elemental projectile weapons coming our way. In the Undercover Tree, Synchronicity is our best friend. As you can see, we got 9 out of 5 points between 5 out of 5 spent and our class mod. Besides that, we just want some more mag size and access to using our piss grenades for more bonus damage against bosses once again. So that's basically all the thinking that went into this build, plus my overpowered loot. I don't actually know how hard this event is going to be, but like I said, I'm going to be going for world's first and as a Zane player, so we all get bragging rights. But I put the best gear together with the best skills I could think to pair them with to make the most overpowered build I could possibly create, maximizing survivability plus damage. You'll all hear from me soon. I'll definitely be posting pictures in my community section on YouTube, as well as my Discord, probably on Reddit. Like I said, I want to be the first to complete this takedown solo, so that all of us Zane players have bragging rights to say that we did it first. I guess we'll see what happens. By the time this video is uploaded, you'll probably find out really soon after that. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and maybe learned something about my thinking going into this. I stacked anointments with perks, artifacts, and don't forget to bring backup weapons in case there's some surprise immunities thrown at us. As soon as I run through this event a couple times, I'll basically know exactly the stuff you want to bring next time when we can plan for this. This is obviously just kind of a shot in the dark to try to cover all the bases. Now don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more Borderlands 3 Zane builds, and join the Zane Nation Discord. Don't forget to root for me today so that all of us Zane players have the most bragging rights to say that we soloed the event first. I'll see you guys once the event is over. Go and destroy WOTAN. Zane Nation, guys. Peace out.